Welcome back! Hey everyone who happens to watch this at any point in time. Long absence Chris here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy. Last time we dealt with Ifrit, and we'll never have to fight Ifrit again. Please ignore Ifrit hard. Anyway, right. Let's return to Gridania. For we have two objectives for now. My little chocobo and sylph management. So, in both of which requires us to go to the same place anyway. So, first things first. I'm doing better. I think there's still a bit of swelling in my mouth. A little bit, so if I suddenly decide to just shut up for half an hour, you'll know why. Anyway, first things first, the quartermaster, as we need to get ourselves our serpent chocobo issuance. Now we leave. We can talk to Fosolo Hillocks in a second, because sadly they put the chocobo person all the way over this way instead, making it so you have to do more walking. Yay. So a lot of things have occurred, apparently, in the world of politics, so that's fun. But anyway, we'll ignore some of that for the moment. Want a bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see your serpent chocobo issuance. Although it should be insurance, really. It's like, this is ensuring that you won't harm the chocobo. Because then you'll have to spend more money. Oh, what's that? You're young? Oh, well then let's go skyrocket. Oh, what's that? You're young male? Oh, that's even skyrocketed even more. Oh, what's that? You were involved in an accident that wasn't your fault? Well, firstly, you should get a lawyer. Secondly, oh, that insurance, wait. I don't know why anyone wants to drive these days. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment, please. I'll be right back with your chocobo. A moment later, behold, a chocobo with the livery of whichever grand company you selected. And here he is. The fellow's been high spirits the past few battles. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you'll want to give your noble steed a name. What do we name the chocobo? We could go for Boko and do Final Fantasy XIV reference. It's a simple enough option. We could go for one of my many random ass references to wrestling. But outside of doing a Coco Beware reference, which again at that point I want to just say Boko instead of Coco. Or we could combine the two. Or we could go for something else. Now keep in mind, the name won't really be cropping up at all. So anyway, software keyboard. Woo! Friendly reminder, Xbox. Okay, I'm doing this out of in honorance since she's graduating from HoloLive, but I'm gonna call it Mume. No, not Mumeo. Moonmei. There we go. Today, and Chris is a bit of a weeb. It's sad. While I've been out of it, it's like, what the fuck's happening at HoloLive? Why are there so many people graduating? What the fuck? Did I say he likes his name? Oh, fuck, it's male. Ah! Here is your phone chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it, and your feathered friend will come bounding to your side. But do forgive if they don't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are star-high creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with a Chocobo's Rider's license, as is required by law, so we won't get hounded the moment we go past the singular tree and some Ellison goes, "Oi mate, you got your license for that Chocobo," in a truly British fashion. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. And yes, with that, we are now able to use mounts. So while we do have access to our Chocobo, which we'll just use quickly right now, it's not like weapon coffer that I'm not going to really use. And Gladiator's Under Arms. What the hell do I use this Phantasmagoria tome for? Oh, whatever. It'll just be my inventory, I guess. Wait, hang on. Is that an orchestration mode? Yes, it is. Why have I not used it? That's something we can utilise while we're in an inn room. Right, anywho's. Now with that done, and I'll be riding a unicorn because I have it already, off we go to the main story. Since we're here. Pardon me. We know far too little of the sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the science once more if we are to... beg pardon, 'tis the terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the adder's nest? So, we do have access to a pup no longer twin adder-wise, and apparently this level one that requires being Serpent Surgeon first class and level 44 for shows on cast. Well, also we can triple triad. So anyway, we come in peace. Commander of looks has been awaiting the aid of the Scions. Also, you may have noticed above the main scenario quest thing, a new quest. We could do that later. Well, if it isn't Private Fur, we're pulling for G. Oh wait, no, twin adder thing. That's the seal I like to see from an enterprising young serpent. And Yedo and Plamo are now here. Perfect. Good evening, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Yedo and Paplamo. Always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me your quest in the name of the Scions are late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the twin adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the 12 Woods home. The sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder seeds here, who has no desire to see our people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. Meanwhile, in ongoing fruitless war against the Axel. The twin adder is of the same mind. It is precisely for this reason that the sylph's relation to the primal Wamu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Racism. Should there ever be a sliver of a chance that something of the primal might disturb the balance between gridania and the sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry indeed. Do we strike at Wamu, or leave the sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to only listen to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. I'm aligned with the twin adder, so that's probably not the wisest decision. The sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little of a semblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural folks pass get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorn Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the sylph's favour. May your exhibition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with sylphs? This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorn Hut, was it? Why, I believe the very departing from Westshore Pier should take us straight there. Indeed it will. Or, if you have the air for it already, teleportation will work as well. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Paplamo. For everyone involved, let's hope it is just a quick. Hello, sylphs, are you using Wamu from nefarious things? No. Alright, fair enough, let's go. Or they're lying and it's like, no. Meanwhile, Wamu just like, I am Wamu. Strikes me with thunder, and I go, no, thunder, Anyways, before we leave, since we're in Gridania, I said cheerfully just then. No, it's seerfully. So Switch 2 Direct, I actually did see it, and honestly, I think the Switch 2 itself looks good. I think it's improvement over the Switch 1. I think Mario Kart looks amazing and is going to be like, it's good that it's a launch title. I'm just going to put that like hands down. Mario Kart World is probably going to be a good game. I ain't going to be playing it at launch because I won't be getting the launch. I won't be getting it at launch. Trust me on this. I will not be getting the Switch 2 at launch. Well. It kind of sucks, but well. 3D Donkey Kong, that looks great. I've never played a 3D Donkey Kong game, aka Donkey Kong 64. I've played a bit of Donkey Kong Country through the Virtual Console on the Wii, so it's not my first rodeo with Donkey Kong, but it will certainly be the first 3D one. Some of the partners show some of the various things that the partners and other publishers and developers have been putting out look alright. Some of which games from other consoles just being poured over to Switch 2. That's fine. I'm not going to really bemoan that, but it's nice that games of a high quality like Elden Ring do work on Switch 2, which is good. That shows its technical capabilities. Even if it's not as good as the PS5 version overall, it's going to be a version that hopefully is worthwhile. That's my thought process on that. Games like Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby and Forgotten Lands getting additional stuff, that's cool. Maybe I'll pick up Kirby and Forgotten Land at some point and play it. I certainly have enjoyed the few Kirby games I have played, which you can actually see on stream, funnily enough. The Welcome Tour is a point of contention to me. When Sony puts out Astro's Playroom, an amazing way of showing off how the PS5 controller works, and it's a good game to boot, for free. It comes with every PS5. Every single PS5 comes with it, and then later on Astro Bolt, which expands everything in glorious manner later on. That being paid makes sense. But Nintendo's tech demo, the Welcome Tour, it's paid, and that just doesn't seem the correct way to do things. It should be pre-installed on every Switch 2. That way, since its entire gimmick is, here's the Switch 2, here's explanations of how everything works. Like, I could grab my Switch right now and be like, yeah, this is how the Space Switch works, but that's because it's been years since it came out. Obviously, people are going to bring up the price thing, but overnight, if we take one look at our current global politics in terms of trading, I think some of it is influenced by certain country leader that doesn't understand how trade works 100%. It's just, I'm not going to say much more because I think people don't like getting bogged down by politics much. I'm just stating the obvious. Speaking of which, I'm surprised the UK got off as lightly as it did. Anyway, Sumiyan has a quest for us, which will give us presence of mind, reducing spell cast time and recast time and auto attack delay by 20% for 15 seconds. That's actually nice. That's actually quite nice to have. And also the soul of the white mage, aka we're getting white mage. Yippee! Chris, I'm glad you've come. Yeah, I'm glad I came too. I have a task of the most urgent and confidential nature. I can think of none other to whom I can entrust it. You are doubtless familiar with the Seed Seers, yes? Carney Senna, Elder Seed Seer, leader of the Order of the Twin Adder and guardian of our fair nation, clearly needs no introduction, but know you also of her siblings? We saw them in the cutscene during the whole... during the whole, hey, let's look at how the city-states will go about being like, don't worry guys, we've got this calamity doesn't know that what we've got. We're fucked, but secretly backstage though. The two young Padules, sister Wire O Senna and brother A Wun Senna, make for Everscade as we speak, where they will perform a ritual of great import. Verily, such import that it would be no overstatement to say that the very fate of Gridania hangs in the balance. I love it when someone actually just unironically uses the word verily, because people do use it to make fun of certain speech patterns. As you well know, we dwell in this forest by the good graces of the elementals, eternal guardians of the 12 words, and most of all the great one who dwells within the guardian tree. Yet our ceaseless warring and the ill treatment of the trees that shelter us have aroused the great one's ire. And it is only the quieting, the ritual of which I spoke, that he may be placated. Thus did the two Seed Seers set out for Everscade, with nary a guard to accompany them. Therein lies the rub, and the nature of the favour I ask of you. By no means would I question the power of the Seed Seers, but with the Great One's anger mounting, the Tosswood becomes a threatening domain for even the most present of conjurers. Pray hasten to Everscade, and see that no harm befalls the two. So, before we head off to... well, actually, Actually, we're doing things in a very specific way. We'll talk to the person at Westshore Pier. This is because... Actually, no, no, let's not. Let's just leave it at that so that we have... Because we'll head back into Gridania then and do that way. But for the moment, Everscade, which is in the Central Shroud. This also means we can now actually ride our mount. I want to ride my unicorn, right? Yeah. And because it has a lot of fight to it, I'm gonna call it Rarity. Alright, that's enough about MLP before I start thinking of ways to castrate myself. What the fuck happened that made me just really hate any time I bring up MLP? Like, seriously. Was it one too many Nazis, or was it one too many pedophiles? Take your pick. Am I in the correct way? Yeah, I am in the correct way. It's just gone upwards a bit, even though it's of this floor on this level. Behold! 2 additional NPCs! Yeah! See, one's a Chewie, the other isn't. Okay, I can only select wireless center. Oh, we did get level synced. 34. Anyways, in cutscene form, curses! How can we hope to make it to the Guardian Tree with these nasty creatures bursting forth like rampant weeds? If I'd known what we were in for, I'd have brought along a wood whaler or two. In fact, I dare say we should return and do exactly that. Oh, do not be such a coward, sister. We are seed seers. These overgrown vermin are no match for us. You say while also cowering behind a boulder. Bold words, brother, but were they true words? We would have dispatched our enemies and arrived safely at our destination bells ago. Hi. A conjurer, are you? Brother Isumi, ever the warrior. For once, however, his solicitude is most welcome. Why you help us dispose of these foul creatures? Have you no pride, sister? A seer does not beg the aid of some common adventurer. Enough, brother. We have a duty to perform. A duty that takes precedence over your silly notions of pride. Now, enough talk. Let us see to these pests. No point arguing over things. Hey, look. Hello, I'm someone that wants to help you deal with this issue. No need to throw it back into my face. Oh, thank you to stay out of the way of my way, adventure. Oh. And one said, the Great One does not approve of our presence here. Oh, should probably maybe oh, never mind. They can heal themselves. Good news, they are healers. Me doing that is actually detrimental. Trouble is, it's time to actually allow me to do things properly. At the very least, we're doing a good job at making sure that bring down as many creatures as you can. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're doing a good job at that, and the Bane Mite wants to murder me. So that's good. Sadly, these NPCs are realm-reborn NPCs, which means they'll stand in the area of effect attacks like idiots. Yay, we crushed our enemies 11 times. It's totally not a 2. There we go, we defeated the Bane Mite. Now we complete the duty. Yep, done here. That was easy. After the beating up that bay mite, they make it to the tree and my eyes! Oh god! Ow! The soul stone appeared out the tree and goes to our hand. Whoopee! That crystal! Do my eyes deceive me, or does this adventurer inherit the legacy of a Toa Can't? Suppose that's why you need 2 Toas. It was none other than a Toa himself who last performed the quieting. No, I do not believe this adventurer's arrival is mere coincidence. Bearer of the soul crystal, inheritor of arcane knowledge long since forbidden to those not of our kind. I know not why it is you he chose, but I believe our great forefather has led you to us today. Ancient tradition dictates that the quieting be performed by 3 paddles, but I misspeak. This ritual is to be performed by 3 white mages. Master Toa truly has chosen this adventurer as his successor. Hang on a second. This quieting ritual that they're doing requires 3 white mages. Yet only the 2 of them went. So does that mean that Carney Senna didn't have the time to do that to help them out? Or maybe Contra Guildmaster? I don't know. You speak madness, sister! Surely you have not forgotten that Pajali tradition strictly forbids sharing the teachings of those not of our kind. Why has it always got to be against outsiders? Ugh. The power of white magic is far too great a risk it falling into the wrong hands. Do I look evil to you? Me. And so you would uphold tradition merely for tradition's sake, even at the risk of incurring the Great One's wrath and bring disaster upon our farthest home? Have you so little faith in your own abilities, sister? We are seed seers, more than capable of slaying any beast in our way and carrying on the ritual on our own. That would explain why you needed my help. Brat. This petty bickering is getting us nowhere. Adventurer, I am sorry to trouble you with our silly sibling squabbles. If you have the time, I would speak with you further, but not here. Come to Camp Tranquil and come quickly. Time is of the essence. Fair enough. So instead of explaining anything here, because big tree, I guess. Camp Tranquil. We don't have that Aetherite yet. We actually technically could have gone it at an earlier point. I didn't. As it is in the South Shroud. So we have 2 options really. We can either take our mount, ride our way along here all the way to the South Shroud and whatnot. Or we could go the option of teleporting over to Quarry Mill and going from there. I'm going to opt for the mounted approach because then I can keep talking about the Switch too. I think, honestly, talking about Mario Kart World, now I think it's going to be a good game. Open world. And I like that. I like the random ass characters as well. Like, let's face it, Mario Kart 8, let's face it, once they announced the Koopalings, there really wasn't much else character-wise in the original form of Mario Kart 8. They did add more in DLC, in Deluxe, but yeah. I definitely wasn't thinking Bravely Default would be on Switch 2. I'll be honest. I've never played it, but based off of reactions of Bravely Default fans, it must be a good game, and might be something to check out in the future. Which is weird how I've never played it, considering it's a 3DS game. I adore the 3DS. It's an RPG by Square Enix. I fucking love RPGs by Square Enix. If that wasn't already obvious enough off of my absolute love of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. So, surprisingly, it's something that flew under my radar. Of course, the GameCube things, I'm looking forward to when things like Path of Radiance and the Pokemon spin-offs get put on there, because that just means that those games, you do not need to hunt down annoyingly high cost versions of them physically anymore. Which, you know, is to the benefit of everyone. Like, Path of Radiance is bloody hard to get physically. And it's the one piece that is hard to get. Because GameCubes, I can look online and find GameCubes real easily. GameCube memory cards, GameCube controllers, pretty much everything GameCube related you can get quite easily. It's solely the component of the games themselves. Some of them are just way too expensive for their own good. And there's not much you can do about it. Because some games were just too niche, and retro stores take good advantage of that. People on eBay take advantage of that. That's just how they do it. But yeah, you know what, F-Zero GX is 2 F-Zero for me. I get motion sick of real life too easily. I don't need F-Zero in my life. Soul Calibur 2 looks alright. I've never played Soul Calibur 2. I've definitely played a Soul Calibur game in the past. I don't know which one it was exactly, but it would certainly be something. Basically, the first thing I'd end up doing is probably what everyone else is going to do, and that is play as Link, just to see how the moveset is. Just either to re-experience it, if you played the original version of it, and all that. And of course, Wind Waker, which, hey, people were wanting Wind Waker, but I know there were definitely people that were more wanting Wind Waker Wii U. Port for Switch 2, for Switch or Switch 2. And it's like, I mean, hey, original Wind Waker, so for any of the flaws of Wind Waker, it's there in its purest form. Thank you for coming, adventurer. Forgive my brother's rudeness. He cannot help that he was born with a head of solid stone. Anyway, I do not believe that we've been properly introduced. I am Weya Osena, a Pagil, as you can see, and sister of the elder Seedseer. You are Chris, yes? Brother Izumi has spoken of you, and most highly at that. As you no doubt have heard, my brother Awin and I were en route to the Guardian Tree. There, the Great One, by whose graces we dwell here, resides. The gentlest of guardians when at peace, a destructive force that knows no bounds when angered. As the Great One goes, so goes our fate, and the creatures you helped us dispatch, doubtless they too, were roused to hostility by the Great One in his anger. I am hearing the words the Great One too many times. My mind is now just defaulting to Drain the Rock Johnson. Back when he was good. So 99. Okay, no, he did some... Hollywood Walk was quite good in the early 2000s, I'll admit. You need only look around to see. The forests grow more and more threatening with each passing hour. So it is that we travelled here to quell the Great One's fury, to perform the quieting. In days of old, the ritual was, without fail, performed by 3 white mages. With our elder sister occupied with her many duties, my brother and I thought to attempt it on our own. Everyone was quite confident, but I had my doubts. It was then that you arrived, and shortly thereafter became one of the chosen few to be gifted with white mage's soul crystal. 'Tis no small honour. That gem marks you an inheritor of the magic of our ancestors. My brother's pride may blind him, but the signs are clear as day to me. You are not Pajali, but Atar Khan meant for you to be here today, to perform the ritual with us. Atar Khan is known to all as one of the greatest mages in our history, but even more so, he was known for being something of an eccentric. In defiance of tradition, he bid farewell to his forest home, wandering the realm and healing the wounds of the land and its people wherever he went. Most admirable course, yes. But alas, Atar was never to return. He perished in a far-off land, and having taken no apprentices, his legendary powers were lost to us for eternity. Or so I believed, until I met you. And yet, for all his stubbornness, there is some truth to my brother's words. Age and laws forbid us from sharing the teachings of white magic outside of our kind. There are reasons for this, which I would share with you when the time is right. There are many who would not approve of this arrangement. Still, I am convinced that it is Atar's will that we bring you into the fold, and so I welcome you, Chris of the White. Well, I mean, one look at me and it's like, well, I certainly can't be Chris of the Black. I can feel the Great One's fury welling up even now. Time is short, and yet while you may have been chosen by Otawa, I fear your journey as a white mage has just begun. Return to me when you have honed your skills, and we shall proceed with your training. And quest complete. I was saying the armory is unlocked. But White Mage, more importantly, is now unlocked. Whoopee! And we get Presence of Mind. The next Mage quest will be available upon reaching level 5. Which we've already gone to, but hey, first things first, we've attained a soul crystal. So yeah, it'll basically whatever level our job is the same as the class that the job is overriding. So, and thankfully we can do this to just transfer our hotbar from Conjurer to White Mage. Update that, because yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are now a White Mage. So first things first, Presence of Mind, which becomes Glare Floor. Put it there for the moment. What else do we get? Well, we get Regen at 35, which is the quest that we've now got access to, which is only you can prevent forest fire. Because reference to the only you can prevent forest fires, Smokey the Bear. Anyway, Regen at 35 for 400 MP, we give whoever we grant this to healing over time of 200 potency for 18 seconds. This is a nice little way to just keep health going without having to spend time using Cure itself. Cure free! Restores own or target party members' health and then party members nearby of 550 for 1500 MP. Why not just use Medica 2? Once you get to level 50, just use Medica 2. Hell, just use base Medica. 300 potency, sure, it's a little less, but it casts faster, it's cheaper, and it does the AoE thing already. I don't get it. Aetherwheel Shift allows us to dash 15 yards forward and cannot be executed while bound. This is a simple enough skill at level 40. Level 45 gives us an AoE attack of Holy with a potency of 140 and also stuns people. At level 50, alongside Medica 2 on the Conjuring side of things, we get Benediction, which restores all of a target's health, and we can only use it once every 3 minutes. This is a nice panic button. Curse you, Dark Knights. If you're going to Living Dead, please inform me. Afflatus Solus at level 52, and Asylum at level 52. How lovely. 2 entirely different things. Afflatus Solus restores the target's health of 700 potency with the cost of a lily. And Asylum affiliates a designated area in a Fail of Secure, granting healing over time to self and any party members who enter for 100 potency for 24 seconds. Lovely. At level 54, Stone 3 is gained, 220 potency earth damage over what we've got with Stone 2. A Size, which deals unexpected damage of 400 potency to all nearby enemies, or also it can restore the health of our own and nearby party members of 400 core potency and additional effect of 5 of our maximum MP being restored. 5%, not 5. That would be really low. At level 56. Level 58 nets us thin air. Next action is executed without MP cost. So we basically get a few. So basically, this allows us to maybe do a cure free, seeing as that's 1,500 MP we're now not using. Tetragrammaton at level 60 nets us just here's 700 cure potency heal every minute, and it's like, oh, that's not too bad actually. Stone 4, so yep, Stone is now stronger to the surprise of probably no one. Define Benison at 66 creates a barrier around self or target party member that absorbs damage equivalent to a heal of 500 potency. How very sage and scholar of what you White Mage. Planetary Indulgence at level 70 grants confession to self and nearby party members for 10 seconds, and people under the effect of confession will receive additional healing upon receiving HP via Medica, Medica 2 or Cure Free, so it's the AoE heal specifically. Then at level 72 we get Dia and Glare. Dia is the dot of 65 potency for damage and the overtime of 65, and Glare is unexpected damage of potency of 290. But what But what about our stuff? Well, that's the thing. At level 72, that's when it's Hero 2 to Deer and Stone 4 to Glare. So we actually lose our stone throwing and air using power. Kinda sucks in a way, but oh well. A Flutter's Misery deals unexpected damage to a target and all enemies nearby, with a potency of 1240 for the first enemy and 50% less for all remaining enemies, and can only be executed when the Blood Lily is in full bloom. Blood for the Blood Lily, some white mages may say. Obviously parodying the Blood for the Blood God shenanigans that many a Warhammer fan detailed, or if you were a child a couple of years ago during the peak of certain Minecraft series is Technoblade. Anyway, a Flatus Raptor, who took it from Warhammer by the way. Flatus Raptor is level 76, restores health and health of all nearby party members and nourishes the Blood Lily. Now that's why the thing that nourishes the Blood Lily is 2 levels after the thing that utilizes the Blood Lily. Genius planning there, Square. Genius planning. Temperance at level 80 increases healing magic potency by 20%. Yay! While reducing damage taken by itself and all party members within a radius of 50 yards by 10%. Yay! Why is this at level 80, game? Ah! Glare 3 is just a better version of Glare, to the surprise of no one, at level 82. And Holy 3. Yeah, what happened to Holy 2? There was no Holy 2, just Holy 1, Holy 3. Put them together and we could make a Holy 4. Level 32 is just a potency of 150. Wow, 10-hole potency. I see why we skipped Holy 2. Acrophel at level 86 reduces damage taken by a party member or self by 15%. But Temperance does that more so. Then again, you can use this every minute, whereas this is every 2 minutes. Literacy of the Bell is at level 90, and the furthest you can get without Dawn Trail. Places a Healing Blossom at the designated location and grants 5 stacks of this skill to self. For 20 seconds, taking damage will expand 1 stack to heal self and all party members within a radius 20 arms for a potency of 400. And the second effect, the effect of this action can be triggered once per second. Any remaining stacks will trigger an additional healing effect when time expires or upon executing this action a second time. 200 for every remaining stack for potency. Fair enough. And it does not share recast time with any other actions. Lovely stuff. Glare 4, just to really hammer home just how powerful glares need to be sometimes, I guess. Deals unexpected damage to target and all enemies nearby with a potency of 640 for the first enemy and 40% less for all remaining enemies, and can only be executed while Sacred Sight is active. This is what it means. This gains access to a thing called Sacred Sight. That's why we can see the action change settings for that. Medica 3 restores health and health of all nearby party members for 250 and a regen of 175, which is actually a quite decent buff over Medica 2's 200 and 100, respectively. And Divine Caress is the current last skill you get as a white mage, where you create a barrier around self and all party members near you that absorbs damage equivalent to a heal of 400 potency for 10 seconds. And a Divine Order is granted when barrier effect expires of healing over time of 200 for 15 seconds. So all in all, really nice to get. Next to Ryora's Center is Bikini Pack, or Bikini Pack, and Gupcha Kippa, 2 Moogles. Look at them. Moogles. Anyway, only you can prevent forest dire. Ah, Chris, ever looking even more the white mage I see, and yet I fear you are as ready to perform the fighting as a chocobo chick is to carry a wood railer clad in full plate. But take heart, for we all must begin somewhere. Today I will teach you the art of communing with the elementals. This is, by any measure, the very foundation of art. The means by which we preserve harmony between the forest and our people. Not far from Soul Heaven, you shall find a tree, a mere sapling in the shadow of the guardian tree, but one that has likewise been consumed by anger and fear. I would ask you to placate this tree. The process is quite simple. Stand before the tree, raise your hands, commune with the elementals that reside within, and attune yourself to them, until your feelings are in absolute harmony. Be forewarned, however, an angry elemental can be as stubborn as my dear brother. Do not be surprised if you find your honest plea rebuffed and foul creatures sent to drive you from the forest. Damn forest creatures. No matter what happens, you must remain calm, dispatch the creatures, settle your heart, and speak to the tree once more. If your heart is true, your voice will reach the elemental ear long. Remember this, Chris. Under no circumstances must you allow your anger and fear to overcome you. What am I, a Jedi? As practitioners of the white magic, the magic of Succor and Solus, such emotions are anathema to our very existence. Well, soul heaven, soul heaven, soul heaven. That's back in the central shroud, god damn it. There's another quest up here that's in the blue. That isn't just our levy shenanigans. We can pick it up for now, but I'm probably not going to do for the moment, as this is... What's this? Ah yes, my feisty little chocobo. The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Ah, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Luculot over at Burnt Branch Meadows. The Ishgarian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. So yeah, that's another thing we've got access to. Whereas we can now... Doing said quest, and then having access to the chocobo in battle will net us maybe a way of dealing with enemies when we're not necessarily... pardon me, wanting them to target us specifically. This is more if you're of level of the enemies and you're a squishy white mage like I am. When we're not of level though, it's a bit of an extra overkill. But it is an additional gameplay feature, so we may sort that out more after we've done this. Oh, pardon me, after we've done this stuff in Soul Heaven. I haven't actually gone and talked to this chocobo cube. Should probably do that actually. People act surprised over the pricing for the Switch 2 games that we know of the price of already. And it's like, yeah, I'm not surprised that we're getting more and more up. Considering Rockstar's toying with the idea of selling GTA 6 for 100, just flat out for like standard versions. I honestly would not be surprised that other companies are going to test waters with something a bit less, and then hope that it goes well, because then that just reinforces Rockstar's idea. And it's like, if you've got something that's as big as GTA 6, you could sell it for 100 and people would still buy it. And that's the thing, Nintendo is definitely banking on that. The die-hard Nintendo fans, they're going to buy everything at launch at full price. Then they can announce a price drop for like a few things, and everyone else will then snap it up, and hey, they make all the money in the world. People on Reddit will be like, well, you see, the 3DS had a price drop, but before that it was selling horribly. And it's like, yeah, possibly. It could possibly end up with it selling horribly until then. We don't know. We can only go off of when it happens. So yeah. Actually, you know what, we'll be doing stuff in Soul Heaven. We might as well just do this, since we're here. Good morning to you, Chris. Is there something you need? Oh, you wish to have your chocobo trained in combat. This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing, and asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I'll help train your chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, we will need a bunch of grashol greens. You have my leave to pick one from the field yonder. Down here when you have it. Alright. So, over this way is some grashol greens. We need to grab one. Only one. So I'm going to grab this one. Never mind, apparently the game chose me to not grab it at that very second. Have you acquired the greens? Yep. Yep. Superb! Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of grashol greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your birds the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you. And then once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You'll find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Four Temps family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. I wonder if we'll hear about them later. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of crystal greens, and together make your way to soil heaven. The broodsters that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would mainly keep an ample supply of crystal greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you as much as you carry. Indeed. Fighting with our chocobo. Yippee! We now have crystal greens, which will be for our chocobo. If we head on over to the merchant and mender over here, which we will, because I'll grab some more crystal greens, since apparently I have decided I'm going to do it like this. Buy yourself a whole bunch of crystal greens. Right, now I'm going to go to my inventory and subcommand set to hotbar X. Or even I could set it to there, on the D-pad. And with the crystal greens, we now see our chocobo. So, companion. There's a bunch of things here. We're just going to set the stances up. We're not able to access them yet, but we will once we level them up. Killing enemies will allow us to level it up, and we'll be able to put said skill points into this stuff. So depending on what you want the chocobo to achieve, you put in, if you want it to be able to tank for you a little bit, then go for the defender tree. If you want it to heal you go for the healer tree, and if you want it to just be able to deal nice bit damage, then the attacker form for you. Anyways, the timer will go down while you're not mounted. For my spicy little chocobo, the solution is the quest now is just quite simple. Just go up here and kill some brood scissors. As for the class quest we're doing, it might be useful, might not be. Depends really if we end up in a duty. Gotta be careful with the pet breath. And as you can see, our chocobo gains some XP points of their own now. That's how they level up. It's very simple. And it's worthwhile actually. It's just that little extra bit of DPS is actually not too bad. And companion skills, whoopee, because SP. Oh, so we got the achievement, Bosom Buddies 1. There we go. So now if we go into the companion bit, we're able to get Choco Drop, Choco Regen, or Choco Slash. I'm just going to go for Choco Slash. It can do DPS stuff. Because at the end of the day, I can take a hit from regular enemies. So it's not like, oh no, regular enemy, I'm going to die horribly quick, chocobo, tank for me. Now if I was a Plague Mage, then maybe I would be singing a different tune, but it's not a trial, no wait, not a trial, it's not a duty, but definitely a number of enemies. And the limb one has decided to attack as well, damn it. Alright, there we go, this isn't too hard. Oh. And there we go. That done, let us first head back to Bent Branch to hand in my feisty little chocobo. And then we'll head back over to Camp Tranquil now through the power of teleportation. Well, potentially through teleportation. We don't have to, but we can. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how long I'll definitely be streaming for, because I think I'm probably at like 90% better. And let's face it, the antibiotics has definitely been taking me out for 6 at points. So, yeah. I might not. I don't know how long. If we end up streaming for the regular amount of time I end up streaming usually, then I end up being a lot better than I thought I was. But also the thumbnail doesn't work if I don't actually do anything involving the sylph, so... You've successfully negotiated your first 3 bouts with your chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring, fighting with your feathered companion? Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings, or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Though some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. A saddlebag for your chocobo as one last parting gift. Grishel coins can be quite cumbersome after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should you need a wise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. Ah yes, we now have access to the saddlebag. The saddlebag! Behold, more space, which we can utilise to put some of these things in. I'm just going to put the dyes in, for example. Oh, pardon me. And we're going to have to put this tombstone in there, because I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably use the plundered arms if I ever grab gladiator. Other than that, I think that's what I'll do that for now. So there's only a time of half an hour. You can up it to... You can up it to an hour. Easily. Anyway, Camp Tranquil. I don't know how to explain what happened to me, but I think it's quite obvious what happened considering the 2 prior streams before I disappeared off the face of the earth for a couple of days. I was complaining about my mouth, so I think you can put 2 and 2 together quite well on that one, especially since I mentioned antibiotics. A short while ago I sensed great anger abate. The forest is quieter, more welcoming now. It would seem you have passed your first test, Chris. Yeah! Trees are the elementals are the trees. The lush verdure of the wind is inseparable from the spirits that dwell within it. But you do not need to hear this from me. Doubtless you felt it yourself when you healed that tree. But for all else, the elementals prize harmony. When they sense a threat to harmony, they summon forth all the powers at their disposal to expose it. For so long as we lived in peace with the elementals, why now do they turn against us? I can offer no answers, only theories. But one thing is certain, we must quell the Great One's fury and do it soon, lest gridania bear the full brunt of the forest's wrath. To soothe the forest's wounds and restore harmony, that is our duty as mages of the White, and it is a responsibility that transcends race or nation. I sense your success in soothing the ailing tree, and I'm more certain of this than ever. Sadly, many cannot see past established practice and tradition, my dear brother among them. One would hope for a bit more open-mindedness given his youth, but alas his pride as a fragile will not permit it. For my part, I am not entirely unsympathetic to his concerns, and yet the task before us is too great. We must bring him around to see reason. But how? Oh, forgive me, Chris. I would be alone with my thoughts for a while. Why not? I'll find a way to deal with Awen. And we get access to regen! Yippee! I'm gonna have that. But, yeah, you may notice that we're not really getting much in terms of DPS skills on our thing. So I think we're going to have to rework how we've got this a little bit. So I'll put Cure there, Regen there, Core 2 can stay there, Medica can go here for the moment. There we go, that works. We're only level 36, so we don't get Oh Brother Well Up Thou and Cure 3 until level 40. So simple enough. Logic, why am I going on my mount when I'm going to be teleporting over to Gridania to go to the East Shroud? It's so a little annoying that it's a case of you have to go to West Shore Pier first in order to torture a person so we can go to the East Shroud when we've already got the Aetherite needed for said stuff. It's so silly. It really is. Really is just absolutely bizarre on that one. Anyways, the Wood Whaler here. I, the very doctor at the base of this hill, will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorne Hut without much trouble. Which we already know is the case. We've been there. But hey, you know, since the game's deciding to be like this, we'll just go to Sweet Plume Pier ourselves like this and head to the Hawthorne Hut on our trusty steed. The Hawthorne Hut. We haven't actually done much there, so other than that one time where we were there to learn about Condry and then got told, ah no, things are attacking, and then we had to heal a bunch of people while keeping, while trying to keep a bunch of antelopes at bay. I've heard the opinion that wheelchair-bound basketball game that's like, oh, you do this cool trick, extra points thing, is like going to be similar to ARMS, where people will play it and they'll be silently forgotten about. I was like, I hope not in a way, because that's just kind of unfortunate, really, if a game gets forgotten too easily. Amelane is a serpent here. Indeed, I am Amelane of the Trinada. I understand you're here to learn the sylphs, yes? For their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. I earn their trust, however, and they're friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all know. Would you know more? You do well to speak with the master of this hut, Wolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Wolf Hawthorne here. Patriarch of the beekeeping Hawthorne family is said to be well versed in sylphic customs. Come along a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They were... beg pardon, friend, my memory's just not where it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a claw in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories to those around the hut before, you might have more luck with them. Hey, that means we're going to talk to people. First thing to hear, Yazabel. The sylphs, yes. Father's told me his stories plenty of time. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You'd best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest you end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Tee. And then outside the hut itself, there's NPCs to talk to over this way. This person here. Quickest way to a quiver's woman's heart must be through her stomach, but don't ever think of trying to force your food stuffs on herself. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun. Also, Wolf once told me. Yeah. Photosynthesis, the damn grass types. The sylphs infatuated tricksters and troublemakers. That's what they are. One day they're drawing mobile faces on our masks, the next they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Wolf claims they harbour no ill will, but I don't say such pranks are no laughing matter. Well, yeah, if it's causing grievous bodily harm, then that's certainly one where it makes you go, more than most. Anyways, hello, Wolf. Oh, of course, hearing your stories, well, my stories has brought the memories flowing back to me. I feel like dancing, yes. Knowing rings together quite like a little toe tapping. As Sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting around that kind. You do well to remember this. It may just help win the favour of our forest friends. Oh, still here, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the Sylphs. They don't take honey to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along a trap. What was it again? And my wife Rosa and I were just speaking to the man not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the coombe. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. Oh my god! That Lalafell just ended up clipping into the back rooms! Oh well, I hope Well, I guess that means we'll never see them again. Why are those still about? That is so silly. That those sorts of... Whether it's a bot or it's a real person who's using a cheat engine or a modding thing that allows them to implement a cheat engine. It's just like, what's the fun in doing this? Doing the whole, I'm going to clip underneath the map continuously thing, you know? A peace offering for the sylphs. By anyone else, I recommend a jar of honey, but I fear that wouldn't get past the front door, dear. No, their tastes were more to the unusual. Are you perhaps familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of that most fiendish seedkin, the oku. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions to the inhaber. You'd not catch me dead trying the stuff, but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious lump of grass the other day. Well, you to stimulate it somehow with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Oh, lovely. Oh, let us put our luck to good use. Over this way. Why, it's a curious tussock. No, that's a mandragora. Why, it's a level 20 oku. Oh wait, we got since we can say to attack stance, let's move. Anyways, with that now gotten, we don't head back to the Rosa, we head back to Wolf. So simple enough. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Yes, this milkroot. Milkroot! Oh, but of course, those sylphs quaff that cloudy stuff as quick as I do. A flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and brother the moment they lay eyes on you. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Ugh, great, I'm like Wolf Hawthorne at the moment. First contact, and our next quest. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your milkroot well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from that god-awful stench. Yippee. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the weak even rivals the breath of the mortal that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can't tell you that story another time. You've more important matters to attend to, yes? Sylphs are a eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know their kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it, if you regale me with your adventuring tales. Well, the idea of a drink aside, before I forget, don't go peasing off just yet. Arlene here would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do not pass my regards to... Oh, do pass my... along my regards to the winged ones. No, don't pass it. I muck up things, I guess. Oh, so you can tell, the sun came out. It was... Over time, it was more and more so. It's not one of those flying films. It's good to see your knowledge of sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Cumuxio. He has served as intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has closely with his tribe's elder. See that Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that melodious root to the sylphs so adore. I have something so far great and important for you to deliver. A missive, yep, that was another one of those ones. A missive from the elder seed to herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and we states Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. Moreover, the Axel has taken a toll on resources, so we can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. Need I impress upon you the further the importance of this mission. May 12 see you return with good tidings. Hopping on our unicorn, off this way we go. Alright. Hello to you, Komuxio. Walking one is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story. That lot of fella appeared, handed in a quest, hit level 34 and fucked off again. Yeah, pardon me. But this one expects no such thing. Walking one should go home and leave this one be. Okay, where's my dance emote? Welcome to dancing to these fucking sylphs. First things first, here in Frost Contact. Dancing to Komuxio. This one would welcome walking ones who moves like these ones. If walking ones would talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so walking one should speak with quick tongue. Alright. Walking one would bring gift to this one. Walking one is most kind. Here's milkwood and a letter. Walking one brings milkwood. Milkwood fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many, many thanks. And we get cutscened. Walking one carries the message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking one should not worry. Hello, Yida and Palplamo. Hello there, we're envoys from Gridania. We're here to treat with your people. We come to pay our respects to your Elder and to learn from him more of your Lord Warrior. Who are these ones? These walking ones come from Gridania? Walking one became a dancing one and brought millwork. But walking one tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking one should go home. Okay, go home, you say, but the Sylphs and Little Souls have always welcomed Gridanian envoys with open wings. Oh, Yida, you and Chocobo has ruined all the chances I had just managed to build. Fucking hell. The letter carried here by Chris, here is an oath of peace penned by the Elder Seed Seer herself. Still, you would refuse us? This one's reason are no business of walking ones. Elder One has no words for Gridania. Walking ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never. Turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deserve such a rude welcome? Was Chris's jig insufficiently jiggy? Oh god, I am not getting jiggy with it, for fuck's sake. I am as baffled as you, but something tells me we Synthets have our erstwhile flirty friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. We can grab ourselves a weak silencing, weak sleeping, or weak paralyzing potion. I'll go for paralyzing. I don't think it really matters unless I actually have a reason to be using said potions. And Yida has dance diplomacy. Ah. Say, Chris, are you in the mood for dancing? No. That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting. You queered hardly any of them. Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer expressing an interest in my culture. Me? Of course I'd be happy to join. Ow. There goes those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. What the fuck did you do to yourself, Yida? Also, there are people supposedly dancing rather sprightly for Komuxio right now, and no, actually, there's someone else along here. I don't see anyone. Ooh, I love thinking that there's ghosts in the text bit. That's fun. I'm also having fun in my head. Okay, yeah, antibiotics have kicked in. Ugh, I'm gonna need to lie down again. Damn it. Okay, well, I'm next time on a thumbnail where I will have to now dance I'm gonna have to now draw a DDR machine. Fuck. I'm out of it. I'm slowly fading. Next time we'll dance. We'll dance. And hopefully next time I won't be starting to fade due to antibiotics. If you enjoy, you can always check out the rest of the stuff on the channel. And I'll see you all.